Joanna, the point I was making was, my own view, and I think it's backed up with the figures, both here and in America, is people are more productive going to the office or to their workplace. But am I right in saying that people are now claiming this as an employment right?
Well, there is an argument. Good evening, first of all, Nigel. Thank you for inviting me onto your show. There is the issue around whether it becomes a term of the employment, because it's something which becomes an everyday thing. So it really all arose, didn't it, by reason of COVID, when furlough happened, everybody was on leave, and then this hybrid model kind of arrived where people were either slowly integrated back into work or they were purely working from home. But I think the issue was that there really wasn't the issue around a lack of productivity. If anything, there was an increase in productivity as a result of that. I think people worked longer hours, they didn't have the commute to think about. There was no commute to think about in terms of getting to work. There was no, if somebody had a slight headache or a bit of a bug, generally they'd ring in sick. If they were working from home, they might just manage their way through it, take some paracetamol and carry on. So there were the levels of absence dropped as a result of working from home.
I think the empirical evidence says that's not right, but we can debate that. But let's say somebody who has been able to work a hybrid model since 2020, since the outbreak of the pandemic. If I, as an employer, say to them in this country, you get yourself back to the office, minimum 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, or I'm going to sack you, what would happen then?
Well, those employees that were threatened with dismissal, if they weren't in agreement to changes those contractual rights, they might have a claim for constructive unfair dismissal. There'd certainly be grounds to raise a grievance. I think as well, you've got to factor in the issues around protected characteristics. Is there a reason people need to work from home? Is it considered a reasonable adjustment? Say for somebody with neurodiversity that might need the structure of working from home, that all of those things need to be considered. An employer can't just apply a blanket approach and say, right, you have to return back to work 5 days a week, as Amazon have indeed done, and their view, they've published their view, which is very much that as far as they're concerned, if you don't like it, find something else where you can work hybridly. And of course, they risk losing their best talent, because people do want that work-life balance. They do want that flexibility. Yeah. They do feel they're more productive by reason of being able to work from home in their own environment. I mean, businesses today have become a lot more global. So we're talking about different time zones as well. So it's impossible to get everybody across a desk in an office to have a meeting, because quite often, particularly financial markets, etc., they're dealing with people in America.
No, I accept things have changed. Joanna, thank you for giving us that brief. Thank you.